Today in this second video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a simple web application using Flask. And this simple web application has some kind of feature. We call it CRUD or CRUD. So this web application that we are going to create can create, read, update, and delete. So you can create the data and then insert it to the database. And in this case, we are going to use MySQL database. And then your web application also can read the data from the database. So it can expose your data from the database. And then you also can update this kind of data using the Flask. Using the Flask web application, and also of course you can delete this kind of data using Flask application. So in this application is actually very simple, but it has like a basic feature which is create, read, update, and delete. Okay, but before we going through, I just want to make sure that your machine is ready. So just go to Windows PowerShell. And then make sure that you already have a Python. Just type Python, version. Now I have 3.7.6 of the Python version of mine is 3.7.6. And then how about the pip? I have pip version 20. And then just make sure that you already have Flask inside of your Python. So how to know whether you already have Flask installed on your local machine or not? So it is easy. Just go to the Python interpreter and then just import Flask. If nothing error, it means that you have Flask. But to make sure, for example, if you wanna know which version of your Flask, just type flask.version, something like this. And then now I have Flask, the version of my Flask is 1.1.1. Okay, and then I also want to make sure that you have a Visual Studio on your local machine. Okay, so if everything is ready, just close all of the things, close, and then the Windows shell, we just close it. But if you have a trouble, for example, your Python is error, or maybe your Flask cannot be imported, or maybe something error, just go to your Blackboard and then go to the practicals and project template and guide, and then go to the guide one, but see this video. So I made this video for you who have any trouble with installing, with setuping Python, Flask, and then pip on your local machine. Just see this video and then get your machine ready for this second video tutorial. Okay, let's go. So in this web application, we are going to use MySQL. So MySQL is one of the DBMS, and if you, for example, you go to maybe guide 2 or guide 3, you also have experience using SQLite. So SQLite is just like simple DBMS, but here we are going to use MySQL. So there are a lot of DBMS out there, for example, like MySQL, Oracle, and PostgreSQL, and many more. But now we are using the MySQL, and for the graphic user interface, we are going to use phpMyAdmin. So that's why we need here to install SAMPP. Don't worry, I will provide all links that you need under the video, on the description of the video. So just go here. So this SAM, we call it, SAM, I just call it SAM. So SAMPP, we can download it, and inside of this SAM, we will have like MySQL and then also phpMyAdmin, which is we need the PHP admin to make it easy for creating or for showing the data that we stored on the Mysql engine. So just go to the download version, and if you, because now we are using Windows, so just click here and then just save here. I already download MySQL here in my download folder. Sorry, not MySQL, SAM. Okay, so just double click to install it. I'm sorry, it maybe takes longer because this PC is quite slow and it's quite old. So the reason why I'm creating this second video tutorial is because, for example, if you're going through to this guide, we have like guide 5, which is using UQ zone, but the problem is, yeah, they couldn't open the port. For example, when you run Flask web application, usually Flask will use a port, for example, like 5000, right? So that's why the localhost, your website is running under the port 5000. But the problem is when we run it inside of our zone, the port is blocked by the UQ, and we couldn't open it because the security reason. So that's why in this second video tutorial, let's just done everything on your local machine, and I think it's easier. So okay, just continue installation. Okay, next. So inside of the SAM, they also provide like FileZilla FTP server, and then Mercury mail server, and then Tomcat and the other thing. So we only need Apache, yeah, and MySQL. So just like uncheck things that we don't need, so it's make faster for the installation. Sorry. And then of course phpMyAdmin, we need it, and then for this one we don't need it. So we need Apache and then MySQL, and then because it's default, PHP is default for the phpMyAdmin, so we couldn't remove it. And then of course phpMyAdmin, we need it. Next, so the installation folder will be under the C. Okay, I think it's done. Okay, just allow access. Okay, now it's done. And then as XAMPP or SAM, they have like a control panel, and then okay, just see the control panel directly after done. Okay, let's wait for the control panel of this SAM. So we choose of course English, and here this is the control panel, SAM control panel. Okay, so now we have SAM, and then here they have some services So we only need two things, which is Apache and also MySQL. So okay, let's just start Apache web server and then MySQL. So now we have Apache web server running inside of your machine. Allow access. And then we also have MySQL, which is running in this local machine. Okay, let's go to localhost. You can type localhost here, or you can just go to 127.0.0.1. It's also a localhost. Okay, we now, because we already installed SAM, and then we start Apache and also we start MySQL. Of course, because of we start my Apache, now we have this one. We have the same dashboard here when we open localhost on our browser. So now let's go to phpMyAdmin. Now we have phpMyAdmin here. Okay, so now you have MySQL running inside of your local machine, and then also we have PHP. So this is the first step if you wanna make a simple Flask web application which can create, update, and delete. Okay, to make sure, just create a new user account. New, add a user account. For example, username is Rizhan, and then the host is local, which is localhost, and password is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Type of password 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then how about the privilege? So for the global privilege, just check all. Okay, just go. Don't save. Okay, now we have user Rizhan here, and the privilege of the user Rizhan has the all privilege. Okay, so with this user, I can do everything inside of the phpMyAdmin. I mean, I can do everything for the MySQL engine. Okay, so actually we can start like creating database here and many things. But okay, so first go to this one. I will provide this link under the description of the video. So okay, here, so you need to download this project. I made it for you. Just download zip. Okay, save, and then open folder. Don't forget to extract because this is zip. So just okay, just open it and then extract to the desktop. Okay, extract. Okay, just close. We have this project. If we open it, we have Flask block. This is the main Python file, and this is database.py. I will show you later. And this is dbsql. Okay, let's open it using Visual Studio. Open a Visual Studio. And then as usual, don't forget to open folder, not open file. File. Actually, I already opened it here, but I will show you. File, open folder, and then go to the desktop, and then select the folder here. Select folder, and this is the content of the project folder, right? So, okay, let's open the Flask block. This is the main file. So Python will execute this file. How we know which main file? So we can go here, and if we see if name equal to main, something like this is the main file. So Python will execute this file. And then we also have a database. So this is database class. Inside of database class, we have the function for connection, and then we also have a function to read the data from MySQL. We have function insert, we have function update, and we have function delete. Okay, so if we see here, we use py-mysql to connect between Python and MySQL. Actually, there are a lot of ways or a lot of methods how to connect between MySQL and Python, but in this tutorial I'm using py-mysql. So we have to install this module first. So just go to the Windows PowerShell, and then as usual using pip to install py-mysql module. Pip install py-mysql. Okay, now success. We have py-mysql version 0.9 and 3. So if we want to check the version, we can go to the Python, because this is module, so we have to go to the Python interpreter and then import py-mysql. So nothing error, it means we have py-mysql, and py-mysql dot version to see the version. Okay, 0.9.3. Now we have py-mysql. So, and here this is the setting, this is the connection. So py-mysql connect, and then the host is localhost, user is Rizhan, password is 1234. As you know that we already create a user here. The user is Rizhan with the privilege is all privilege, and the password is 1234. I already defined it before, and the DB is Rizhan DB, and we don't have this DB, right? So we create this DB, create database, this is Rizhan DB, and then create. Now we have Rizhan DB here, and then the next step is create table. So what the tables, what the table name, and then what the column. So we open the DB-SQL. So this is the SQL. Actually, we can copy and paste, just copy here everything and then run using SQL here. But I just wanna show you how to create it like one by one using graphic user interface. Maybe it's easier to you. So here we need table phone book, and then column ID, name, phone, and address. So this application is phone book application, simple phone book application, where we can add the data like name, address, and then phone number, and then we also can update it, those data, and then we also can delete it, those data. So okay, let's create it. Phone book, the table name is phone book, and then we need 4 columns. The first column is ID, the type is integer, and the length is 5, right? Length is 5, type is integer. And then the second is name, varchar 255. Name, and then the type is varchar 255. And then phone, this is how many? 50. Varchar and 50. And then the other thing is address, varchar, and then, and what is the primary key? So if we see here, so they alter table phone book. Alter means the update, or update or edit table phone book, and then add primary key ID. So, and so this is, we have to Wait a second. Okay, here. So this is auto increment. So ID is automatically increment. Okay, and this is the index is primary, right? If we check the auto increment, I think everything is done here, right? So do we need to check other no, I think no. Let's go save. Now we have table pun book and we have 4 column here. Let's try to add some data here. Just insert. Because the ID is auto increment, I think we just left it blank. And then name is, for example, like Ristan. Phone number just something like this. And then address is like Australia maybe. And then let's go. Okay, now if we browse the data, we will have here Rishan and then Pon and then Australia, right? So let's see the code. So we have to run this Flask block. Okay, let's run it and see what happened. Just press run and then see what happened. Okay, now it's run server. Okay, just control and click. And then, okay, it's double. Tada, we have this thing, right? So previously we already add one data here. So we saw the data here. And then just try to add more data. Here, click. Name, for example, Mafrur. Phone number is something like this. And then the address is maybe... yes, still Australia. And then save. We have 2 data here. And then if we refresh this phpMyAdmin, we will have 2 data here. Okay, we have 2 data here. Okay, let's update it. So we can edit it, this one. Oh no, my phone is wrong. It should be like this. And then my address, I'm not stay in Australia anymore. So just change to Indonesia, for example, then update. Now we already updated and it's success. A phone number has been updated. And then how if we want to delete this one? Okay, just see here. Like we can refresh it phpMyAdmin and then see what happened here. Now it's updated, already updated, right? So Indonesia. And then how if we wanna like delete? Okay, just delete this one. And then this is the confirmation form, and then just press delete. And then now we only have the one record here. If we refresh phpMyAdmin, there will be only one record here. So this is create, read, update, and delete. So this is the simple application. We call it the phone book application. And then let's go and see the code, inside the code. Just Control C to exit. And then, okay, let's see and go to see the code. Okay, so just open the main file, which is the Flask block. I think you already see the Flask block file many times in the previous guide, like guide 1, guide 2, and guide 3. I think it's easy to understand, right? So they have like def index and then root, and then if we want to make like a new page on the web apps, we have to define here. But okay, let's start from the first. So this is what things that we have to do if we write code in Python. First, we have to like import, because we want to use like OS here, so that's why I import OS. And then another way to import is something like this. So the difference is if we import and then module, it's mean like all module will be imported. But if we use this way, it's only same module that we only some module that we define that will be imported. So for example, because we will not import all Flask inside of this file, but we only need something like this. So just from Flask import Flask with a capital F. This is the Flask class, and then Flask for the send the message, and then render templates. So we can see here the explanation, and then the parameter, how we use this function, and then redirect. This is the function, and then URL for request, and then season, right? And then from database import db. So what is the database? Database is this file, database.py, and then import database. It's mean the class name. This is the class database, right? So if we put this database file inside the folder, like if I create here folder module and then put the database inside the module folder, we have to write like form module dot database import database, something like this, right? So this is what we have to do when we use Flask. The object app is the object, and then this object is from the class Flask. And then if we want to make or want to develop a Flask application, we have to use like app secret key. So what is secret key? Actually, you can find it on Google. Like, what is the secret key? Flask. So is it for a season? No, it's like, where do I get? So what's the app secret key here? So the secret key is the part of pair of keys. I think we should. Why we need secret key? Okay. Nih. So anything that require encryption, because we want to send data to the server, and then we want to receive the data from the server. So to keep safe, we use the post and also get method, and then we also encrypt all the data using this secret key. So it's require the secret key to be set for just Flask itself, that anything is the season object, but other extension can make use of the same secret. So how to set the secret key? So actually we can use something like this. Secret key is like, this is my secret. It's okay if you want to use something like this, but here I just want to use the secret key like random number. So I use operating system OS here, OS module, and then .ur number, which is we will using this function, it return object containing random byte for cryptographic use. So that's why I use this one. And then this is like random number. I can use like 120 or something. It's up to you, right? So this is for secret key. I generate random. And then here, this is what kind of this DB. This is the DB is object, and then created based on the class database here. So class database is from database file here. So this is here. So inside of this DB object, we can use some method or some function from the database class, like read, and then insert, and then update and delete. Okay. Control save. And then this is the index. The template that will be rendered is the index.html. We can open it of this template. This is the index. Right. And then and then if we want to add new data, the render template is add. We can open it, the add.html here. Just try to like edit something here. So you see the different edit and then refresh the server and then see what happened. That's fine. Okay, and this is if we want to add, and then this is for the update, and this is for delete. So if we see this, for example here, okay, if we want to update, we have to use the ID because the ID is primary key, and then the data, we get the data is from DB, from the object DB, and then read based on the ID, right? So okay, let's open the DB. So all this function is something like this, data and then db.read. How about the update, db.update, and then how about the read, db and then read. How about the delete, and for example db.delete. So let's what's happened inside of the database class. So this is a database class. We have this is the configuration, the connection. So inside of this function, we should put it connect and then using cursor here. So for example, this is read, this is insert. So con is the this is database class and then connect. So and we use cursor here. So what is the cursor object? So actually we can find it. What is the cursor object in Python? So cursor object in Python. So where is the maybe like easy explanation? So when you want to execute a query to the data, like if you want another database management system, for example, like PostgreSQL or SQLite or maybe MySQL, you also can use a cursor. And this one, why do you need to create a cursor when querying? But this is in case of SQLite database. So DB cursor is an abstraction. It is for querying a data. You need a cursor object to fetch the result. Your example work because it is an insert and this. Okay, so this is why we use a cursor here. You can, if you want to understand more deeply, just go to Google and then try to find it. What is this thing? Sometimes this is read and this is the insert into phone book. Something like this. Okay, so this is the query and this is the function insert, function update, and then function delete, right? I think it is enough. If you want more detail, you can try to doing like experiment, and then maybe okay, so previously we create phone book table using like manual way. How if we want to use SQL? Okay, just open this dbSQL and then Control A, Control C. I just want to copy and paste, for example. Copy. Because now we already have a table name phone book. Okay, let's say we use another name, like open the SQL here, Control A, and then Control V. We change another name, like maybe phone book version 2, and then go. Sorry, there's something error here. Oh, sorry. So alter table is still, it should be, sorry, not only, so we have to change here phone book version 2, and then here phone book version 2, Phonebook version 2. Go. Now we have Phonebook version 2. We created based on the SQL query, right? So just open it here. Okay, now we have this data, right? Admin, this is the phone number, and Saint Lucia, the address. So you can create a table using SQL, something like this, or you can use it using the PHP admin. So which one is easier to you, just use it. Okay, I think that is enough. So if you want to more understand, if you want to go deeply, just try, just modify this code, and then try to run it, and then see what happened on the website, on the result. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's enough for this video tutorial. Okay, see you next time.